So today I'm technically publishing my first ever book. It's going to be an audiobook, probably because I started with audiobooks, but this is, without further ado, I wrote this when I was 17. I call it the D.M.T journal, which obviously stands for daily meditation training. I don't know why anyone would ever think that it would stand for anything else. And I'm going to read it. I've only read this through like 3 times since writing it. It's quite profound, and every time I read it, I feel a little bad for not actually doing all of the stuff in it all the time. And it's a better me that wrote this. And I'd like to be that better me, and I'd like to share that with the world. And I don't know, I just woke up and I was like, today's the day. So without further ado, the DMT journal. And because I wrote this under the heavy influence of daily meditation training, they're color, it's color coded. So it's got a series of aphorisms, and the different colors are for different levels of resolution of reality that it refers to. So I'll say red and then read what it says, and then say green and then read what it says. And it may take me there might be some pauses because, again, I was under the influence of daily meditation training at the time of writing this, so my handwriting isn't the greatest, but I think this is a great book, and I hope you enjoy this as much as I do. And they're all numbered too, so I'm going to read number and then we'll just go from there. So, 1, do not distract yourself. Red. Do not let your ego distract you. It will constantly try to avoid the meditative, unfettered state to preserve itself. You will try to distract yourself with movies, ideas, videos, music, people, and everything else. This is an attempt to avoid growth. Growth is the default state of the unfettered mind. Only the unfettered mind is needed. 2. The ego does not want your success. The ego wants the ego to last forever. That is the ego's only goal, attachment. Success is a form of ego death because that longing, which is the ego, has been fulfilled. The ego does not want this. Oh, I'm not telling you the colors. I will just start again. So, 1, do not distract yourself. Do not let your ego distract you. It will constantly try to avoid the meditative, unfettered state to preserve itself. Green. You will try to distract yourself with movies, ideas, videos, music, people, and everything else. This is an attempt to avoid growth. Blue. Growth is the default of the unfettered mind. Only the unfettered mind is needed. 2. The ego does not want your success. Red. The ego wants the ego to last forever. That is the ego's only goal, attachment. Green. Success is a form of ego death because that longing, which is the ego, has been fulfilled. The ego does not want this. And then says, give up in a black box. Only when you have given up, red, only when you have given up will you receive. Green. You correct all problems, and only when you do not succeed and have totally given up, then once you hit bottom shall you be reborn and succeed. 3, give up the power because you never had it. Red, you will try to convince yourself that you need to keep doing something to maintain control. This is a lie. You never had control. Green, you will think that when you stop controlling others' perception of you, you will fall into ruin. Give up. You could never control it anyway. Blue, give up. Any attempt to have power over what is not the ego's will only hurt it. Give up. 4, do not think beyond here and now. Red, to think beyond here and now is an attempt to have power over that which you do not control. Green, thinking of things beyond here and now is idolization. For what you imagine is non-existent abstraction of ego. Blue, thinking beyond here and now is the ego's attempt to distract you. It is meant to inhibit growth. 5, do not idolize. Red, do not idolize. Idolatry is a sickening of the mind. It is the ego's method of controlling you and preventing ego dissolution. Green, Thinking of people beyond the here and now is idolization, for what you have created in your mind is not the person, but an ego construct. Blue, thinking of events is idolization and an attempt to control the uncontrollable outcome. Control an uncontrollable outcome. Purposeless thinking will lead to the ego trying to maintain itself with a new idol. Purple, an idol is more an idol is never the thing itself. The menu is not the meal. 6. Do not manipulate people. Red, trying to manage perception is manipulation. If you try to control what someone else thinks of you, that is manipulation. Green, thinking of another's perception of you is an attempt to manage perception and is manipulation. Blue, manipulation of another's perception does not work and only goes to do the opposite of what you hoped. Purple, only the low try to convince others they are not low. Blue, we are wise to deception. Trust your emotions to convey themselves. 7. Your attempts at something may be self-defeating. Constantly attempting to fix a problem may simply be reinforcing the idea that the problem exists at all. Green, behaviors associated with attempting to solve a problem are held onto by the ego, so every effort is met with equal hidden self-sabotage. Blue, to obtain something, you must cease trying to have it, then it is yours. Give up. 8. Do or do not. There is no try. Red, an action is an action. Your attempts for an outcome are meaningless in the face of your behavior. Green, behavior is real, desire is an abstraction. You can only control your behavior. Do a thing or do not, that is all. Blue, justifying behaviors for outcomes is the ego's way of manipulating you. Give up an outcome, all you have is behavior. Purple, the man who rushes is not so because of his goal, but because of his action. As you do, so you are. 9. Do not rush. Time is a thing to be sculpted and examined thoughtfully. This is red. The man who rushes wastes his time by manically laying waste to his outcome with frantic blows rather than thoughtful and precise actions. Green. Savor time. A well-constructed plan has no room for rushing. Rushing is a failed attempt to do what circumstance would not allow. Do it well or do not do it. Blue. Rushing is an attempt of the ego to distract you with the next thing. Ignore it. Be here now. 10. Schedule and plan. Actually, it's plan schedule. Red. Planning gives place for everything and everything in its place. It ensures things are done and eliminates any need for or desire for manic ego. The unfettered mind can relax into a well thought out plan. Green. Failing to plan is planning to fail. Nothing works better for productivity than a good plan and schedule. Blue. Not wanting to plan is the ego's way of preventing goal attainment. It lets things fall into the chaos of the undetermined and therefore never get done. 11. You do not need to do what you are. Red. A bird does not bird. A bird is bird. You do not need to try to express any trait that you truly possess. Green. The wise man does not do wise. He is wise. Actually, this says, wise man does not do or act wise. He is wise. Blue. Attempts to give yourself traits in the eyes of others by doing them is not only doomed to fail, but is manipulative. Purple. Things that are inherent to you do not need to be done, but will happen spontaneously of themselves. Attempting to do them will only serve to inhibit them with the effort. 12. Create rituals and habits. Red. Well-formed rituals and habits allow the unfettered mind to sink into beautiful patterns. Green. A ritual has the power to calm the mind with familiarity and provide much-needed context, such as a bedtime ritual. Blue. Making rituals and habits lets the mind's decision-maker rest as it carries out a well-known task. This is peaceful. Purple. Rituals provide meaning by giving a constant in life that one can always reference his current situation with. 13. You are your habits. Red. Your habits encompass everything from what you do over the course of a year to how you reflexively deal with situations. Your habits will account for nearly all of your success or failure in life. Green. Good habits move you towards what you want and are indispensable, which good habits move you towards what you want and are good habits move you towards what you want and are in not opposition. It's in, I can't make out that word, which bad habits will always prevent you. Yeah, I gotta figure out everything this says. But, it's part of the zen of the whole thing, ain't it? Blue. Your thought habits are going to make you actualized or make your life hell. Meditate to keep an eye on them. 14. Be a self-transforming system. Red. You are a system. There is an input and there's an input and something on your habits. There's input and there's an input, and based on your habits there is an output. The ability to self-modify is indispensable. Green. Create time for reflection and allow yourself to change as life changes. Blue. Transition into new habits and allow time for changes so as to not rush. 15. Nothing is gained by purposelessly adding things to life. Red. Adding things, ideas, facts, objects, people, events, etc. without purpose to life only serves to bog down the mind and distract. Green. The key to brilliance is simplicity. One thing will detract from another. So removal of all but the essentials allows the essentials to excel and shine. If it is unneeded, this blue, leave it out. Excess serves only to stress, distract, hamper, and derail. 16. Peace of mind is first. Red. Little of value can be done by a distracted man in a frenzy. If something feels as though it demands your attention now, sit and allow the mind to be unfettered. Then proceed. Green. Do nothing to distract your peace to distract your peace of mind. Peace of mind is the condition that assures all others. Blue. Allow room for nothing that distracts peace of mind. Not people, not things, not habits, nothing. 17. Discipline is freedom. Red. With an ego that seeks to distract and derail at every opportunity, self-discipline is freedom from this. Green. Self-discipline assures that you stick to the productive habits and eliminate the The unhelpful? I don't know. It's like some other word. And remain on the path of your goals. I'm going to go through all of this and figure out all these little words that I can't quite read. Like, they're really. It's like, I don't know what that word says right now, but I'll figure it out. Blue. The man without self-discipline will fall to while the man with self-discipline can enjoy freedom of actualizing his goals. Purple. Self-discipline is not a hard quality. It is the subtle surrender to goals and processes. 18. Direct experience is primary. I get better at like figuring out what these words mean each time I read this thing, so but I hope it's still very helpful, even in the state it is. It's kind of, there's a Zen nature to this, you know? It gets better as it goes on. 18. Direct experience is primary. Your experience is your truth. Nothing is true for you that does not work, and nothing is false for you that does. In a subjective world, your subjective experience is your world. That's red. Green. To understand something, you must experience it. This world is not in your books and maps. It is out there. Little token reference. There's a lot of references to stuff I've read in this. Because it all comes together, you know. This is me making sense of the world. The 17. 19. Ego is drunkenness. Red. Ego is a state of drunkenness. It is a compilation of assumptions, neurotic holding patterns, and manic tendencies without awareness. Green. Freedom from ego is true awareness of reality. Intelligence is the ability to see without preconceived notions or assumptions, the ability to see what is there. Blue. Ego is shutting off awareness of the environment and others to plow ahead with habits and assumptions. Freedom from ego is critical to a good life. Meditate daily to see without ego. 20. Accept that you are utterly selfish, a complete rascal. Red. Accept that you are utterly selfish. Not at all pure, completely something without a single good thing to be said about you. This is an Alan Watts reference, so it's probably something from Alan Watts. It will make you have a deep respect for others and a sympathy for their plight without false superiority. Oh, completely irredeemable. Not at all pure, completely irredeemable, without a single good thing to be said about you. It will make you have a deep respect for others and sympathy for their plight without false superiority. Green. You were blessed only with your circumstances, and so were they. Hold no one above you for this reason. Blue. We are all cut from the same deeply flawed cloth. 21. Do not masturbate. Red. Masturbation, both mental and physical, simply satisfy you without improvement. They falsely validate your current state and remove the drive to improve and accomplish. Green. It is a tool of the ego for telling you that who you are now is fine and remaining that way is admirable. Blue. It is also stupid, accomplishes nothing, and is a complete waste of time and energy. Purple. It removes the hunger for the feminine. This is for the masculine. For the feminine, it probably removes the hunger for the masculine. 22. Soundness of body. The body is the mind. Where the mind is weak, so is the body. Where the mind is tense, so is the body. Cure the body with the mind and cure the mind with the body. Soundness of body, green. Soundness of body is the highest. Soundness of body is of the highest regard, along with soundness of mind. Nothing can be done by a disabled mind in a deranged body. All your work is a reflection of yourself. To ensure good work, ensure good self. Purple. Strengths of mind are cultivated in the body. Strengths of body are cultivated in the mind. Wow, this is good. 23. Be useful. Red. There is no virtue to being useless. Usefulness is the highest virtue. It is the ability to help yourself and others. There's nothing better than a deep, encompassing, willing ability to be useful. Green. The useful man can fix things, create things, react well to problems, but that is only the surface. He can help others distill their emotions and thoughts. He can be the much needed leader. He is what is needed, and as such is the best type of man. Blue. Use is the virtue we seek in all others. Use is the most desirable trait in all circumstances. That's why I make these videos, to be useful. Hope these videos are useful to you. 24. Understanding before action. Red. Understand a situation before seeking to change it. Understand others before trying to be understood. Nothing done well is done without understanding. Well said. I'm commenting a little bit because I haven't read this in so long. I'm experiencing this along with you guys. Green. By seeking to understand first, you can meet the person where they are and relate to them better. Address the situation as it is, not as you would like it to be. Blue. Understanding a situation is the crux of being able to apply timely and efficient as well as effective action. 25. Duality in thought is judgment. Red. Why do bad things happen to good people? Bad things, good people. When you fall into duality and judgment, you create the reality you're perceiving. Nothing is, but thinking makes it so. Green. There is a place beyond good and evil. I will meet you there. That is truth. The world is not what mere language has created it to be. With all our judgments and thoughts, Judgment Day is here. 26. Meditate daily. Red. Meditation is the act of transcending thought to see the mind and the world without judgment. It refreshes the mind and empowers the soul. Green. Without meditation, we become attracted to our assumptions and tendencies and rigid in our mind and body. Meditation frees us from this. Blue. Stretch with meditation. Relax the neurotic holding patterns and allow the mind and body to flow. Blue, another shade of blue. Muddy water is cleared best by leaving it alone. 27. Man is the symbiosis of biology and language. Holy cow, this gets deep. Red. Man is the mixture of his biological body and his linguistic mind. This creates the ego, which is the area created in the overlap. And then I have this little diagram where we have language, superego, ego, body, id. You can see how they flow into each other. Green. Through this, language can influence the body. Be careful of language. Reality is made of language. Excuse me. Language is axioms within syntax. The earth was made of language. The earth was the language of nature, which something trees, oxygen, which includes trees, oxygen, CO2, oceans, ice caps, animals, and atmosphere. It is a self-transforming series of patterns with direction. Green. The universe is language of atoms, quarks, galaxies, gravity, entropy, and dissipative structures. Blue. All truth is but self-referential language. All truth is but self-referential language deferred to another or something to another level and is only true as it can be applied to a goal. That'd be something for me to riddle out. Purple. Language has a tendency, the tendency of goal. Language is different. And then I wrote DNA. Oh, the tendency of each language is different. Language has a tendency. The tendency of each language is different. And then I just wrote DNA at the bottom. 29. Language provides change in structure. Red. Without the syntax and symbols provided by language, we would not be capable of the rapid transformations we can do, such as modification and optimization of habits or any system for getting things done. Green. However, as one point in a sentence logically leads to the next, so do languages have tendencies that deeply affect as However, as one point in a sentence logically leads to the next, so do languages have tendencies that deeply affect us, such as seeking for status and greater material gain and approval. Blue. DNA and something DNA and something are language. All DNA and instincts are language. All I think it's CL. All creations have language of goals to allow them to react respectfully to the world or their world. 29 continued. Okay, maybe that'll help it make more sense. DNA is a language with a tendency to replicate through creation of new organisms. Capitalism is the production of goods and the spoils of capitalism. Blue, a different shade of blue. Bluism is the clarity of mind and the fading of peace. Purple. Construct a personal language. Construct a personal language with an innate tendency that will help you. I have to meditate on this. Because I think that some of the words I'm misinterpreting a little bit, or I don't really know what I've written, so I'll have to figure that out because the words all matter. But let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm actually interested what you guys are making of this. But I mean, again, I'm doing this for myself, so this is the first step to actually figuring out what I said in here and then publishing this as a book. So I think this is going to be the first book I ever publish for the God Engine. 30. Culture is a higher level of complexity. Red. Culture is to biology as biology is to cellular life. Culture was a more adaptive form of language than DNA to spread itself. Green. Culture wants you to further culture. This may not help you the way culture exists. Modify it, then help it. Blue. Culture has become conscious through the scientific method. 31. Dissipative structures are systems that increase entropy. Red. All life is a dissipative structure. Culture is a dissipative structure. The creation of a more complex form of dissipative structure seems to be a tendency in our universe. Green. They are also a motif in the LSD experience. They are little eddies in a pool. They are patterns that transcend that which they pattern. 32. Our universe, not the universe. Red. Our slice of time, our senses, our language, our control of the universe is so small that we can make no claims about truth in the grand scheme. We can only comment on our slice. Green, all our laws of physics are what humans all our laws of physics are wrong. Something. All our laws of physics are wrong. Something. We are mayflies on a summer's day thinking things that we perceive to be thinking things that we perceive to be constant are thinking the things that we perceive are constant because we have yet to see them change. All our laws of physics are wrong. I think what I'm saying here, and then there's some other word in there that may change the meaning of this, but basically what I'm saying is that I remember writing that. Like, it's like if you had a mayfly on a summer day, mayfly lives for like 24 hours, it would look at the world, look at all these things that perceives to be constant, like the laws of physics, like the temperature or something, or like the weather, and it'd be like, this is reality. And it's like the human race has existed for so short a period of time that these things that we believe to be features of reality are really, we have no idea to know whether they are as such. We are so absurdly limited, we will never be able to make an objective statement. This is our universe. Not the universe. It is the universe that we perceive, not the universe as such. 33. Do not allow excuses in place of results. Ooh. Red. You will try to make excuses and reasons why you can give up and not accomplish your goals. These are not to be taken. Green. Like in a wrestling match, you will make reasons to break your beliefs and fall into stagnation, failure, and mediocrity. Blue. You must force yourself to succeed. That is the only way it will happen. 34. Mushrooms are the truth. The psilocybin mushroom is the destroyer of the ego and allows change and growth like nothing else. It destroys it. It deserves a place in your life because of this. Green. Take over a month to 4 times at psychedelic doses. Take once a month to 4 times a year at psychedelic doses to prevent stagnation and ego buildup. It is not to be avoided. This is a strong recommendation from myself under the use of daily meditation training. Mushrooms are used in favor of other psychedelics due to their something and profound soul cleansing effects. Hmm. 35. The psychedelic experience is the center of the mandala. Red. I am busy. I had to deal with some distractions from people who are run by the ego. Not my wife, but other people who are interacting with my wife. She needs some advice, so here I am back again. I might cut all this out, but probably not, because then I'd be managing perception, which is manipulation, and So it's a Zen exercise, folks. I'm trying my best here. Hope to be of service and be useful. 35. The psychedelic experience is the center of the mandala. Red. Psychedelics are the distillation of consciousness. Green. I have no idea why they work, but they do, and they can be used for great insight and benefit. That's green. Blue. The primary thing psychedelics do is dissolve boundaries. 36. The psychedelic experience is sacred. Green. Hold the psychedelic experience sacred because it has the potential to reveal truth and to reveal or shatter. Blue. The psychedelic experience is to be approached with great respect and not casually. Red. Psychedelic experience dissolves the ego to the point where you, that ego is its entirety, dies. Point where you, that is ego in its entirety, dies. Then all you are left with is a new person. Done in high enough dosages a few times a year, this allows for freedom to develop a new self. It is true release, true catharsis. And then I wrote in blue, approached only with reverence and intention for change. 37, psilocybin. Nitrile psilocybin molecule right there. Best psychedelic I know for catharsis, pure ego dissolution, positive life change, growth, can be solitary or social, has themes of language, and speaks when asked questions. Yeah, that is the interesting thing about psilocybin, is it talks. I don't know what to make of that. The most grounding psychedelic also produces the most challenging trips, best afterglow. They wrote, fucks with the thinker more. 38, LSD. For a little LSD molecule. LSD is especially good for introspection and pattern recognition. It is definitely social and sometimes allows for telepathy. LSD is hyperlogical and reductionistic. Microdosing helps with focus and lucid dreaming. Has a quote-unquote perfect feel to it. And then red, preserves the thinker more. It is more analytical. Mushrooms is more... LSD is more like study. Mushrooms is more like immersion. Those are my own commentaries, not in the journal. D.M.T. Almost sounds like daily meditation training. Red. D.M.T. smoked has a nearly instantaneous onset. It is the most similar to mushrooms, but due to its endogenous nature, has no feeling of altered self. It lasts 5 to 15 minutes. With an hour or so afterglow. Green. DMT provides quick release from the ego, but does not last long enough to allow true release, as does LSD and mushrooms. It feels like the temptation of catharsis without. 40. Salvia divinorum. A dissociative atypical psychedelic that made me feel like I turned into a car. Into the car door the first time I did it. Not comfortable, feels like it's completely real, extremely confusing with interesting insight and somewhat catharsis, only smoked at this point, afterglow for the rest of the day, babbling and weirdness. Cannabis, 41. Cannabis can be a psychedelic. It has a body high that is orgasmic and dissolves ego. Cannabis doesn't reveal a self, rather patterns and a consciousness. Works very well for introspection and fun. The high is like being embraced by a goddess, amazing and chaotic. Drilling movement is excellent on cannabis. Allows for catharsis and to a lesser degree release from self. There's just some notes on psychedelics that I've done. I don't really advocate cannabis. Like right now I'm just not smoking weed. Like I don't like smoking weed. This is also not on the dispensary stuff that's out nowadays. I don't know. I mean, I think cannabis is, it's probably very dependent on how it's made and a bunch of other stuff. But back to the DMT journal. Let's go back to our daily meditation training journal. 42. Organize your life around your goals. Everything you do should be for the attainment of a goal or ideal. Do not fall into idleness. There is no point to action that does not have goal attainment at its end. It is feeble and useless. At its root, it doesn't have goal attainment at its root. It's feeble and useless. Blue, striving for an ideal and attaining goals is the focal point of life, not distracted pleasure. Also, on the point of salvia, I only did salvia one time in my life, and I don't really intend on doing it again. It's very bizarre, and I don't know. I'd love to talk to someone who was more experienced with salvia about the theories of that, but at this point in my life, I have no desire. But again, back to the DMT journal. A little less commentary. 43. You chose your circumstances. You chose your circumstances and life challenges before your birth because they are what you need for your soul's progression. Green. When you start to view challenges in life as plates in a barbell, you not only accept them, you long for them. It's an Elliot Hulse quote right there. I like that one. Blue. Life is not happening to you. It is happening for you. Everything that happens is exactly what you need. Purple. You do not get what you do not need. You don't get what you want, you get what you need. 44. Jump first, then you can think as much as you want. Red. Hesitation is feeble. Act first and then learn and adapt. Do not dive hesitantly. Could be die or dive. Do not dive hesitantly. Green. Nature loves courage. Jump into the abyss and discover it's a featherbed. Terrence McKenna. Blue. The will to act is the key factor in life. Inability to act is a failure of the soul. At that point, you are dead. Purple. Trust yourself, throw yourself into a situation, and then let yourself bloom into it and rise to the challenge. 45. Do one thing at a time. Attempting to do multiple things at once is the ego's way of distracting you by making you constantly shift attention. Green. Doing one thing at a time is meditative and allows you to work to your full capacity. Blue. When eating, eat. When walking, walk. When sitting, sit. This is Zen. 46. Chaos on one level is order on another. Chaos to the fly is harmony for the spider. What appears as chaos on one level is a system in dynamic equilibrium on the next. Green. Two people arguing over bullshit are just slowly coming to agreement. Blue. Personal pain is your coming to deep understanding. All the beatings of life are a part of the process. Detach and see yourself as part of the world, and the world is part of you. 47. Be true to yourself. Uninhibit yourself. To filter your stream of consciousness is to limit yourself to get an outcome, and outcomes are lies. So I'm actually doing a good job by adding all this commentary. I knew it. Green, when I filter myself to get approval, I attempt to manipulate and therefore fail. I must act on my impulses and desires. This is in harmony with self-discipline at the level of Zen. Blue, filtering is putting behavior before outcome. There's putting behavior below outcome. This is a lie of ego. Give up. 48. The mind is a beautiful servant and a deadly master. Red. The ego as master will ruin you, keep you stagnant, drive you to madness, and give you nothing. Green. Having patterns, habits, and faces are helpful, but having patterns, habits, and faces are helpful, but having them run you is hell. The patterns that rule you will bring you to ruin and clash with circumstances, leading to pain and confusion. Self-modifying or self-aware habits are freedom. $49. Do not demand, command. Do not attempt to get what you want by demanding it be given to you. Command it by being so good you must have it. Green. The person who would have what you want. Oh, green. Be the person who would have what you want, and it shall be yours. Blue. If you want matches, be so good they have to wrestle you. If you want a girlfriend, be so good one will jump on you. If you want money, be so good you're in constant demand. 50. Taking full responsibility is freedom. Red. If you give responsibility for your state to others, you give them the power to change it. If you take responsibility, you give yourself the power. Green. When your situation is up to you, you can change it. Always take responsibility so you can change it. The man who gives up responsibility gives up freedom. 51. You are a slave to what you fear. Fear nothing. What you fear limits you. Go in the direction of your fear and watch your fear step aside for growth. Green. Fear is a sickness. It is a refusal to feel something. It is closeness to the world. Abandon fear, it does not serve you. Blue. Fear often serves to show us the direction we need to go in most. 52. You do not rise to your expectations. Red. You fall to your level of training. This is good. You will not fall past your level of training. Your level of training can be relied upon. Green. Be the man who practiced one kick 10,000 times. Have your weapon. The mind is your weapon. Purple. When you are completely broken down, you fall into the habits of mind that are so deep they will not break. This is your core, your true wealth. 53. Overeating is a symptom of something greater. Red. When a person feels unsatisfied in life, he will try to fill it in some way. Sex, drugs, food. It is all a symptom of a whole, obviously. Green, this hole is often lack of love. When a person overindulges, it is due to failure in some other area. Fix that and it shall self-correct. That's actually true. I stopped smoking weed by fixing my health problems and fasting. I stopped masturbating and watching porn by meditating. Interesting enough. 54. The question is the answer. Most answers can be found by questioning our premises. That's red. Green. The assumptions we make when asking a question are the answer. They are our frame of perception of the question. Blue. The answer to how do I move my hand is moving the hand. The suchness of the thing is itself. The I asking before it is itself. It is the tip of the finger seeking to touch itself. The longing is the reparation. 55. We receive what we deeply desire. Red. We all want a surprise, and a pleasant surprise at that. But there would be no pleasant surprises without unpleasant surprises. And how can we even have what we want we can only have it? How can we ever have what we want? We can only base it on what we've had before, then it wouldn't be a surprise. A completely predictable future is the past. You've already got it. So what we really want is what we already got. What we've already got. Green. Also, you want what happens because... Oh, okay, I'll go back to red and read this again. 55. We receive what we deeply desire. We all want a surprise, and a pleasant surprise at that, but there would be no pleasant surprises without unpleasant surprises. And how can we even know what we want, because we can only base it on what we've already had before? Then it wouldn't be a surprise. This completely predictable future is the past. You've got it. So what we really want is what we've already got. Green. Also, you want what happens because you chose it. You chose for it to happen deep down. It is part of the being you are, I think. But I could be misinterpreting that word. This is fun. 56. To rise and fall with the sun is great. I gotta do that. Red. The best sleep schedule is with the sun. It is a beautiful... It is... beautiful and helps you sleep. It is healthy and keeps you sharp. The best sleep schedule with the sun is healthy and keeps you sharp. There is an odd advantage to being up early and to bed early. 57. Journal. Red. The best book you will ever read is your own journal. It contains all you know of yourself. Reading your own journal lets you learn from your own experience and grow as such. Green. Keeping a journal and reading it is a self-reflective habit that modifies your habits on its own. It gives you a new level of self-awareness. 58, be here now. Green, be here now. There is nothing to be gained by attempting to have power over that which is beyond now by dwelling on it. Red, do not compare your path to someone else's. We are all just walking each other home. Blue, the heart surrenders to the moment. The head judges and holds back. There is no feeling in the head. Let it go. Life happens in the body. Purple, you are the witness to the story, not the actor. Blue, but give up your notions of freedom. If you think you are free, there is no escape possible. 59, relationships. Red, relationships are a symbiosis of ego. The patterns of each person line up to form something greater. It is almost like being a more intelligent half of something. Blue, in Western civilization, we spend most of our time convincing each other that our masks are on straight. Wait till I learned about Eastern civilization. Green, what you see in others is a reflection of something inside you. If something about that person bothers you, it is because you are bothered by that trait in yourself. 60, have a plan. Have a plan. If you do not have a plan, you will fall into someone else's plan. Green. Red, be independent of your surroundings and people. Your mission is first, other people are secondary. Do not care for them above your mission. Blue, know what you want. You cannot get something if you do not know what it is. If you don't know where you're going, you may not get there. Purple, the better and more intentioned the plan, the more you will draw people and resources to you. 61, goals and purpose. Green, act with purpose. Everything should be bringing you closer to your purpose. Cut out all that does not serve you. Red, when you move in the direction of your goal moves in the direction of you. Things and people who help will be brought to you as you need them. Blue, do not live for distraction, live for your soul. Because become your soul. Whenever something is getting done, there is a monomaniac on a mission. 62, if you can't, then you must. Blue, if you feel as though you cannot do something, then you must do it. Allowing self-imposed limitations is crippling. Move in the direction of your fear and it shall get out of the way. Red, you can be many things, but do not be a coward. Green, feeling incapable is the ego's lie to keep you where you are. The surest way to transcend the ego is to prove it wrong. 63, ready. Blue, the teacher will appear when the student is ready. You will not receive something you cannot handle. You would have it already. Or you would have it already. Red, the reason the teacher has not appeared, why you have not been given the opportunity, is that you are too busy holding on to your unworthiness. Green, you refuse to see the opportunities that are right in front of you because you are viewing the world as you think it is, not as it is. Give up and you will receive surrender to the universe and be taken farther than you thought possible. 64, fix yourself. Purple, your internal world is your external world by your inner language and assumptions. Your outer world is your inner world by conditioning. Green, fix your internal by going into the world and working to develop that trait. Fix your external by going in and seeing why you are causing this. Blue, you cannot fix a problem at the same level on which it was created. You must transcend that level. You cannot fix your mind by thinking about it, and you cannot fix your relationships by having 12 of them. Look to the world as your mirror and you as the world's. 65. Self-talk. Blue, no one can tell you something you don't already know. We see the world through language, and without having the same language as another, we will misunderstand. Green, there is a voice in your head that talks constantly. It says many things, and purely for its own enjoyment. The language it uses will affect you deeply. The body is the mind. Be wary of the voice. Red, our most private thoughts are not our own. They are made of language, and our language is given to us by culture. 66. Suffering plus wounds. Green, the place of your pain is where you will give your gift and grow. Every wound is a womb. The wound is a place where the light enters you. Red, suffering leads to wisdom. It brings you back to here. Blue, we suffer because we enjoy it. When all you've had is pleasure, pain is all you can get off to. Purple, wounds are blows done to the ego. Suffering is the ego attacking itself. That's the difference between wounds and suffering. 67, no one gives a fuck about you. Actually, nobody gives a fuck about you. Purple, you are not a special snowflake. You are made of the same decaying organic matter as everything else. Green, literally no one cares about you. Even your family will disown you eventually. You are alone. Red, everyone is out for their own agendas, and all relationships are transactions. Blue, the only value you will ever have is the value you give yourself. You must value and care about yourself because no one else does. Purple, there is absolutely no point getting upset about this. We are self-replicating organic compounds of decent complexity. Green, you cannot replace yourself. Blue, everyone is replaceable. People fill positions. This is a perspective. I don't entirely endorse this in all circumstances, but you just internalize that a little bit. It helps get over the self-pity and bullshit, you know? 68, do not pollute yourself. Do not consume toxic material, ideas, or food. Green. This is green. Do not consume toxic materials, ideas, or food. Do not bring wasteful, destructive things into your life. Red. Self-pollution is self-destruction. It contaminates yourself that you are not... Oh, it communicates to yourself that you are not valuable and are to be treated as garbage. Purple. You are what you consume. If you consume only productive, resourceful things, you cannot help but to be resourceful and healthy. Blue. You are your incense and temple. You are your universe and temple. Your vehicle and driver. Everything. Act as such. 69, who you are. Blue, you are the universe exploring itself through you. You came out of the universe, not into it. You are a drop of water leaping from the ocean. Red, You are a microcosm of the macrocosm. All existence can be found in you, and you can be found in all existence. A waterfall can be a teacher when you see it as your own reflection. Everything green, everything is a manifestation of the Tao, the universe, Allah. There is not a poorly formed cloud. Every speck of dust is in its place. All is as it needs to be. 70. Breathe. Oxygen is the true translation of the Chinese word qi. Breathe deeply to allow the breath of life to fill your every moment. Breathing done right is catharsis. Bioenergetics red. Bioenergetics allow for a release from ego and neurotic holding patterns through breath. This, especially when done as a meditation, allows for true change. Blue. Breath is the blood of life. You can never be truly alive if you do not allow yourself to breathe. 71. Depression and expression. Green. Depression is the opposite of expression. If you are depressed, it is because you are not allowing yourself to express things and are bottling them up. Red. Depression is being too up in your head. There is no reason to be depressed in the body. The body can feel the pleasure of living. The head cannot. Do not let the head ruin the expressive joy of the body. Blue. Ego is a shell preventing you from feeling life. Explode outward and shatter it as you expand into life. 72. Cosmic sex. The yin and yang are everywhere. The interplay of opposites encompasses all. Even duality and non-duality is a spiral going out to infinity. This is the universe feeling itself. The cosmic orgy. Red. We are the manifestation of the divine masculine and feminine. The present purposeful man moves into the chaotic receptive feminine as universe or woman. Blue. The universe is this infinity. The universe is this infinitely The universe is this infinitely inter something cosmic whirlpool of existence as the yin and the yang interplay and spiral out forever, so much so that everything reflects this. The universe is infinitely interwoven, convoluted, cosmic whoopee of existence as the yin and yang interplay and spiral out forever, so that everything reflects this. 73. Male and female. Men are purpose-driven, planning, logical, present. This is green. Grounded. Women are chaotic, emotional, all over the place, and receptive. A man is blind to all but his purpose, which a woman sees all purposes of men. Red. This is an arrow fitting into a secret hole. The woman desires to be penetrated and wrapped up in a masculine purpose or vision. Blue. Women react to emotions. Don't say what they mean, but from what they mean test, derail, and force men into their bodies. Woman's gift is that of life, change, and dissolution of the ego. Men are rationally nuts. This is purple. Men are rationally nuts. Women are nuts. Blue. The feminine's desire for distraction is maddening. '74. Men. Green. Men are valued for their purpose and that value they contribute. Red. Men say what they mean and don't rely on subtlety. Blue. Men and the masculine is the primary doer of the world. They are the lines of intention, the something that moves the world. Male psychology is the buildup of systems that allow for growth and greater efficiency, the constant pull towards dissolution and reorganization. Men and women are not friends. There is always attraction there if the male moves on it or not. Woman. Women are not intention but awareness. This is green. Women are not intention but awareness. Women and the feminine are always aware of things such as social situations and intentions. It is almost like they can read your mind. Red. The feminine is the dynamic glue holding the arrows of intention together. Blue. Modern societies disregard the feminine as modern society's disregard of the feminine has bothered many women and left them to constitute their, I don't know, something with men. I gotta figure, Modern society's disregard of the feminine has betrayed many women and left them to, castrate their husbands and men. Purple. Women are deeply insane and longing for a man to ground them. They also long for a man to penetrate their depths and make them open completely. Blue. Surround a woman in your reality. She wants that, to be part of it. 76. Permanent versus living. Green. The more a thing is permanent, the more it is lifeless. Life is dynamic and changing. May I never be perfect. May I never be complete. Red. That longing is the desire for more life. To be perfect, completely fulfilled, is to be dead. Blue. The struggle to find permanence is a struggle against life. Resist nothing. Let you and your work be born to dust. Dissolve into everything. That is utter bliss. Purple. Do not make your value in any label or accomplishment. Life is dynamic. Forget the past and move on. Attachment and resistance to change cause only suffering. 77. Ishmael. Green. The takers are a culture that believes it has the only way for people to live and that people have always lived this way, and also developed totalitarian agriculture. They believe the earth was made for man to conquer. I now believe the earth was made for a symbiosis of man and nature, and I have a slightly different take on Ishmael. The leavers are the rest of everyone that the takers conquered. They believe man is as much a part of everything as the rest of the earth. Mankind is engaging in an unstable strategy, and it is eliminating itself as we speak. Purple, culture only controls us because they have locked up the food. This is true, but now as a 26-year-old, I'm a little more on the side of culture. Take that for a Zen koan. 78, training the body. Strength training is the reciprocal of mobility. You must have equal strength and flexibility. Strength is sacrificing flexibility for rigidness. Flexibility is sacrificing strength for mobility. You must have both for it to work. You cannot give up what you don't have. That's pretty profound. You can't give up rigidness for mobility without first having rigidness. Otherwise, your limbs just fall apart. So meditate on that. That's pretty powerful. Red, strength is power, flexibility is openness. Cultivate both to be a powerful, balanced person. Blue, martial arts are the utilization of this cultivated dynamic ability. They give life to the body. Purple, completely master the form, then forget all that and just play. 79, metaphor and analogy. Green, we live in a fractal universe. The micro and macrocosm fall under the same laws and patterns on one level appear on another. Red, every man and woman are Adam and Eve, God and other. Arthur and Guinevere, Zeus and Hera. Every man is Hercules, Odysseus. We repeat the past and master. We repeat the past and something the future. We repeat the past and misstrew the future in all endeavors, great and small. A great mind can read battle strategy and love affairs, fundamental physics and behavior, and the hero's journey in his afternoon hike. 80, the hero's journey. Ordinary world, call to adventure, refusal, meeting the mentor, crossing over trials, approach, ordeal, death, rebirth, reward, the road back, resurrection, return with the elixir. That's what I've done. Through the God Engine, which is the next book I'm going to write that unlocks all the secrets of health, fitness, and high performance. Whoops, messed up the camera there, but I'm not even joking. It actually is that profound. This is kind of a lot to me because I wrote this before 2 of my 3 Insomniac episodes, so it's fascinating to me. All journeys follow a pattern like this. 81, you and your surroundings. You are your universe. Your body exists inside of you. When you step into a place, the place enters you. You are the intensity of your perception. 82, the Joker. Green, be yourself implies that there is an essence ego that is more real than the masks, other egos we have. Red, we are constantly changing due to our environment and others. I can only know myself in relation to other. Because I am the reaction to the other and the other is the reaction to me, it is a dynamic. Blue, who you are is constantly changing. It is whoever you are at the time. There is no self that is more real than the others. They are all masks of the universe, Allah Tao. I now believe God deserves to be called God, but at the time, clearly not. Even human is a mask we wear. That's purple. Blue, you cannot see yourself. You are determined by others' reactions to you. 86, God, Tao, and the universe. I guess I did believe God deserved to be called God. Green, anything describing God must be less than God. Of God, all that can be said is not this, not that. One sees God by removing ideas like a sculptor removes stone from his sculpture. Red, from the mind of God outside the wheel of karma, the yin-yang reality, there is no difference between anything. It is all the games of consciousness. Blue, there is no you. You are the isolation of one experience that refuses to see that it is everything. This is all nothingness shaped by consciousness. It is all ego. It's nothing made ego, and that's interaction. You are nothing. You are everything. We all talk about the same I and you. 87, have integrity. While it may be fun to talk of grandiose plans, you also need to be working on bringing them to reality. You hide, you hurt, you kill your integrity. Wow. By talking without action or results. This is a fascinating reading. I'm not the same man that I was at the beginning of this video. Red, integrity is not protecting yourself as someone different, is not presenting yourself as someone different from who you are, whether to yourself or to others. Integrity is another word for congruent. Blue, do not resist being or feeling something that is present in you. Only by accepting where and who you are can you change it. And then at the end, I have some notes that I'll read. Everyone is a manifestation of the divine. Everyone is exactly who they need to be right here, right now. It is not your job to change anyone. They will change on their own when they need to and how they need to. Accept this and act from the knowledge that you are all you can control. God is that which cannot be known. God is coincidence, chance, deeper forces, unstudied patterns, and all that is outside our body of knowledge. God is the non-duality. Rejection of the unknown is identification with the devil. Attempting to claim omniscience and power leads to the hell of Nazi Germany or the Soviet Union. The 3 habits. Meditate every day so the desire for God, which is God, can breathe God into you, the image of God. That's blue. Red, walk more so your brain and body can work in unison. Other blue, or is that green? It's actually green. Journal so that each day you write the story of your life. Wow, those are the 3 main habits I try to keep doing now too. Focus. Being alive is a state of focus. The systems, though separated by language, unify through intentions. That's red. Blue. Focus is attention, which is love, and awareness, which is consciousness. Green. By training my ability to focus my mind and body towards a goal, such as breathing, asterisk, the name of God, asterisk, I habituate within myself, mind and body, parentheses, conscious life. Amen.